What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me. And yes, I am outside getting in 10,000 steps. I do still do that. It's just lately, it's been really damn cold. It's been single digit temps. So I'll get out here and I'll get some steps in, but I can't get the full 10,000 in out here. I'll be having to do a lot of them in the gym on the treadmill, or if I'm at the mall, or just if I got to make a run to Target or something, the grocery store. They add up. I get them 10,000 in collectively. It's not majority outside like it is when it's warmer. But I promise I'm gonna be out here more when the weather permits it. It's cold as hell out here today. It's a single digit day right now. I'm just out here anyway because why not? Had to get out here and poke my head out eventually. I couldn't just keep going from home to the gym and wherever. I had to get out here and expose myself to it eventually. But let's talk about Cali, man. Cali's looking really bad right now. You got areas, Pasadena, Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades. It's just looking really bad out there. It's looking nightmarish, like something out of an apocalyptic movie. And I was able to get in touch with my family. Thank you guys who showed me love, who showed concern over my family out there in California. That really meant a lot. And my sister finally reached back out to me, let me know that they're all safe, they're away from all the dangers. But that's right now. The way the fires have been moving, I don't know. But I can only keep hope that they will continue to be safe away from that. But, Cali is a disaster right now. And there are people who are to blame for this, who want to remain blameless. You have the mayor of LA. She was out in Ghana, right? She was out there in Ghana for a inauguration for the president while her city was burning. Now, she left during fire season for something like this. And the absurdity isn't just the fact that she left during a time like this on a trip that was totally unnecessary, tax funded unnecessary trip to go to Ghana. But just months prior, she had cut funding by $17.5 million for firefighting. So fires are the biggest and most deadly hazard in California. All right. You got other deadly hazards like earthquakes, but so far in my lifetime, we've not really seen any earthquakes leave behind the devastation that these fires have done and are continuing to do, because the fires are still going. It's not over. They're still continuing to move. Some of these areas that they've shown behind the fire basically sweeping through and tearing up like a tornado of fire, it's burned the places to ash. It's crazy. I seen a drone fly over the area and it was just ashes, total ashes. And they had a side-by-side aerial view of that area before the fire swept through. Man, it was insane. So you got Gavin Newsom, who we already know that he's a terrible governor. He's easily, especially if you add it now, he's easily the worst governor that California has ever had. And this is a guy who shut down an agreement for them to get more water because he wanted to protect smelts, something that, and I did research into this. You can indeed get smelts in plenty of different other places. There could have been something where he could have probably did both, preserve the smelts and provide water, but he just shut it down. So you have too many people in place. You also have another woman, aside from the LA mayor and Gavin Newsom, there's a third one. There's a woman. I can't remember exactly what her position is, but she was basically she was on the news giving some speech, basically blaming everybody but herself. She makes $750K a year. People are calling her a DEI hire. I don't know. Maybe she is. And she basically was blaming the firefighters using too much water for why they're out of water, the citizens for why they're out of water, low water pressure from them running out of water for why water can't get to where it needs to. Just no accountability whatsoever. And I think that might be one of the frustrating things here, is that all of the people who Californians have voted in place to protect them from situations like this have not only failed to do so, but they have no accountability. They are so passing the buck. Gavin Newsom claimed that Donald Trump was politicizing the disaster. No, bruh, no. Donald Trump 5 years ago was talking about what would happen if he didn't make X, Y, and Z moves to prevent disaster, and he never made any changes. Now you skip forward to now, and said disaster has happened exactly how he called it. He's holding your feet to the fire. No pun intended. Yeah, pardon me. No pun intended. But that's essentially what he was doing. He's holding you accountable. Let's go with that instead, given the subject matter of what's happening. He is holding you accountable. Holding you accountable is not politicizing something. Like, that's insane to me. Instead of acknowledging his screw-ups, he instead wants to gaslight people and pretend like he's the victim because Trump pointed out his ineptitude, silliness. And also, it doesn't really seem like Californians are still going to hold these people accountable. You have absolute devastation happening right now. Your fire hydrants have no water. And the people in place who could have prevented this disaster did nothing to stop it. They stopped sweeping away the brush. They stopped getting rid of petrified trees. They cut the funding for doing this. The things in an area that is known for having these types of fires, they stopped spending the money necessary to prevent the fires from getting to this level. And then did deep cuts that cut away $17.5 million for firefighting. Man, California is not the place I remember it to be. And there's just no accountability for these people. Why aren't the citizens of California more angry about this? They're more angry at Donald Trump for pointing out the ineptitude of their leadership than they are the leadership for being inept. What does that tell me? They'll turn around and vote these people right back if given the opportunity to. Newsom and whatever her name is, the mayor, they should resign, but they probably won't. The other lady who was basically blaming the citizens for why you have no water in the hydrants. That was just so absurd. She should resign too, but she probably won't. And given the opportunity, these people will be allowed to keep their jobs. Having no water in the hydrants in an area that is known for having fires, man, that is insanity. That is straight up insanity. The hydrants have no water. I just saw a video where the LAFD, they were putting out fires with purses. I kid you not. They were putting out fires with purses. They were filling the purses up with water and running and dumping them on smaller fires. But this just looks ridiculousness. The rest of the world is watching. This is how they're responding to a crisis. And this is no diss at the firefighters themselves. This is no diss at them. I'm not tripping on them for using the purses. If that's what they have to use, then they're going to use it. So this is no knock at them. This is the leadership that I'm knocking at. Why don't they have the necessary things that they need? Oh, wait. Actually, I just remembered why we don't. And I'm not being facetious. I just remembered why we don't. Because they were giving, and I kid you not, they were giving supplies to fight fires to Ukraine. I looked this up. I'm dead ass about this. They were giving firefighter equipment to Ukraine. And now look at what's happening. Obviously, when they were doing this, they couldn't have foreseen that this would happen. But some of the decisions that they were making were so ass backwards that I just don't think that these people were living in the world of reality here. They just were not rooted enough in reality. Oh, and speaking of Ukraine, the Biden administration is getting ready to give Ukraine $500 million more. So right now, as Californians watch their properties and their cars and just their life burn and could use this money to get their life back on track, the Biden administration is sending money over to Ukraine. This is why they lost. And I'm afraid I don't think California is going to change at all behind this. They're already blaming Donald Trump for stuff, and he's not even in office. And it's not like I'm some super pro-Trump supporter or anything like that. I just happen to think that Donald Trump is better. The 4 years that he was in, he did a hell of a better job than these last 4 years that we did with Biden and Kamala. And I have no reason to believe that the next 4 years he's not going to do better than these last 4 years. That's basically it with me. It's not like I'm some MAGA enthusiast or anything like that, but I will certainly champion them before I ever champion the way Biden and them have handled things. Even in this situation, Ukraine is still the priority. It's never America first with these people. And the rest of the world is watching. That's the part that really gets me. The rest of the world is watching, and they still can't be bothered to deviate from this plan that's not working. In a situation like this, California is burning. Hollywood, I seen a picture with the hill with the Hollywood sign on it. It was burning. It looked like it could be an album cover. I seen a McDonald's burning. Somebody did take a screenshot of it and turn it into an album cover. It's so crazy what's happening in California right now. And I really think that nothing's going to change. I think that the same people that led to this disaster happening are going to still be in office. I don't think they're ever really going to be held accountable for anything. They're already right out the gate. They're shifting blame. The LA mayor got confronted when she got off of the plane. She's at the airport. And the news are there waiting on her. They're asking her questions like, do you have regrets about cutting funding for firefighting now that this is happening? She wouldn't say anything. They're like, did you really think that, that Ghana was a place you should have been when your city was burning like this? She wouldn't say nothing. She said nothing, but then went to Twitter making BS posts trying to make it seem like, oh, she's on top of it and whatnot. It's just ridiculous. And another reason why I don't think that Newsom is going to be out of there. My sister, now it's funny, my sister, she was pretty much agreeing with all of the stuff that I was saying when we were on the phone, because as much as her and the kids like to give me pushback about my political views, what really could she say right now? She really couldn't say I was wrong about anything, because they're right now living in an apocalyptic inferno. So she was pretty much just like, you're right. And I don't take any satisfaction in being right about this stuff. But she also agreed with me about the fact that people are seemingly framing Newsom as being some sort of hero in this. He's not playing around. He's calling out Trump for making this political. It's like, what are y'all talking about? He's calling out Trump for making this political. It's been political. He's not making it political. And not to mention, holding someone accountable is not politics. That just is simply holding a grown man that was given a job, whether in politics or not. You're a grown man and you were given a job. You didn't do it. You didn't execute. You failed on every level to do your job. I think this man is the worst governor in the history of California. And even with that being the case, with California being on fire, essentially, I still don't think he's going to be out of a job. But we shall see. I'm going to leave it there, though, y'all. Thank you guys for, again, the well wishes, the concerns when it came to my family. I felt compelled to give you guys an update now that I've spoke with her, and You know, they're marked safe and seem to be doing okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed that they'll continue to be okay. Let me get back out here to walking, y'all. Holla at y'all soon. Peace.